Lagos was a city of endless hustle, where dreams were either realized or crushed beneath the weight of survival. For Ireti, the struggle was a daily battle. She had worked tirelessly to raise her only daughter, Ireti, after her husband abandoned them years ago. As a seamstress, she stitched together not only clothes, but the fragile threads of her own existence, trying to provide a decent life for her daughter. Despite the hardships, Ireti had been a bright and promising child, but as she entered her teenage years, something changed. The once lively girl became withdrawn, lost in a world of her own. Concerned, Iya Ireti sought medical help, but the diagnosis was vague: mental instability. Iya Ireti's heart broke, but she never gave up on her daughter. She prayed, worked harder, and tried to provide the best care she could. One fateful day, Ireti brought home a friend, Bumi, a quiet and reserved girl who had no family of her own. Iya Ireti, despite her own struggles, opened her home to Bumi. The two girls became inseparable, like real sisters, and for a while Iya Ireti felt she had gained another daughter. Years passed and Bumi flourished under Iya Ireti's care. She studied and worked and eventually found love with Adigun, a hard-working young man. When the time came for her to marry, it was Iya Ireti who played the role of her mother, giving her out in marriage with joy and pride. Though her own daughter remained unmarried, she found solace in the happiness of Bumi. But fate had different plans. 4 years into her marriage, Bumi remained childless. The whispers of in-laws grew louder and pressure mounted. Desperate, she and her husband sought unconventional solutions. One night, with tears in her eyes, Bumi knelt before Iya Ireti, her husband beside her. "Mama, please," she pleaded, "let Ireti bear a child for us." Iya Ireti was stunned. The thought was unthinkable. Please subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, like, and comment. Thank you. But as the days passed and Bumi's pleas continued, she began to waver. After all, had she not raised Bumi like her own? If this was the only way to bring her happiness, could she deny her? Finally, after much persuasion, Iya Ireti and Ireti agreed. A mock dowry was arranged and Ireti was given to Adigun. The agreement was clear. After the child was born, Ireti would live never to claim the baby as her own. Months passed and Ireti became pregnant. Despite her mental struggles, she seemed to glow with new purpose. She clung to the hope that this child would bring her some happiness, that she was finally doing something meaningful. Adigun, at first reluctant, found himself drawn to Ireti. He spent more time with her, tending to her needs, speaking to her softly. Bumi watched with growing unease. When the baby boy arrived, Adigun was ecstatic. The child was his blood, his legacy. He held the boy in his arms and felt something shift inside him. But as his love for his son grew, so did his attachment to Ireti. Bumi saw it all. The stolen glances, the extra attention, the lingering conversations. A seed of jealousy took root in her heart, dark and bitter. She had waited 4 years for this moment, yet she felt herself losing everything she had fought for. Desperation drove Bumi to a dangerous path. She sought out a local herbalist, a man rumored to have powers beyond comprehension. She begged him for help. "Make her mad," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Make Adigun hate her." The old man studied her for a long moment before nodding. He mixed herbs, muttered incantations, and gave her a small pouch of powder. "Sprinkle this where she sleeps," he instructed. "And for your husband, put this portion in his food. He will despise her soon enough." That night, Bumi followed his instructions. Days later, Ireti's behavior changed. She mumbled to herself, clawed at her skin, and screamed in the middle of the night. Soon, she could no longer recognize her surroundings. Madness had claimed her. Adigun, on the other hand, grew cold towards her. The sight of her repulsed him. He accused her of being possessed, of endangering their child. Without hesitation, he sent her away, dumping her at Iya Ireti's doorstep. Her mind lost and her body frail. And worst of all, they kept the baby. Bumi stood victorious, but something in her felt hollow. Months passed and Iya Ireti nursed her daughter with love and despair. Ireti's condition did not improve. One evening, as Iya Ireti prepared to close her shop, a man appeared at her doorstep. He was young, well dressed, and his eyes were filled with urgency. "I'm looking for Ireti," he said. Iya Ireti's heart pounded. "Who are you?" "My name is Tunde," he said. "I am the father of her child." Iya Ireti was in shock. Tunde went on to explain how he and Ireti had been in love, how she had told him she was pregnant and then vanished. He had searched for her but found nothing until a mutual friend told him of her fate. Iya Ireti overwhelmed. Had they all been deceived? What truly happened to Ireti's child? The answers lay in Bumi's household, and Iya Ireti knew she had to confront the painful truth. She wasted no time. The next morning, she stormed into Bumi's house, her heart heavy with anger and sorrow. She found Bumi cradling the baby, looking every bit the happy mother. "You lied to me!" Iya Ireti's voice shook. "You stole my grandson and destroyed my daughter." Bumi flinched but recovered quickly. "Mama, please, I only did what was best for my family. Ireti was never fit to be a mother." "And you decided that? You who cast her aside like a piece of rag? You turned my daughter into a mad woman?" Adigun walked in at that moment, frowning. "What is going on here?" Iya Ireti turned to him, her eyes blazing. "This is Tunde, Ireti's true love. He's the real father of that child." A heavy silence filled the room. The baby, as if sensing the tension, whimpered in Bumi's arms. Adigun looked at Bumi, then at Tunde. "Is this true?" Bumi's lips trembled. I don't know." Iya Ireti took a deep breath. "You will return my grandson, and you will undo whatever evil you have done to my daughter. Or I swear by the gods of our ancestors, you will suffer more than you can imagine." Adigun's face darkened as the weight of Iya Ireti's words settled in. He turned sharply to Bumi, his voice low and dangerous. "You mean to tell me that all this time, the child I thought was mine isn't mine?" Bumi's throat dried up. She shook her head frantically. I don't know. I don't know, Adigun. I swear. I didn't know. I thought. You thought?" Adigun's voice rose. "You thought it was okay to cast spells? To ruin a woman's life just to get what you wanted? And now you've been raising a child that isn't even mine?" Iya Ireti stepped forward. "Whether you knew or not, the truth is clear. That boy belongs to Tunde, and my daughter, your so-called surrogate, was destroyed because of your selfishness." Tunde clenched his fists. "I came here for my son. I want him back." Bumi's grip on the child tightened. "No, he's my son. I raised him. You can't just take him away from me." A bitter argument broke out. Adigun, too ashamed to speak further, stormed out of the house. Bumi fell to her knees, wailing. "Please, Mama, don't do this to me. Please, I beg you. Don't take him away from me. He is all I have." Iya Ireti's eyes burned with unshed tears. "You took my daughter's sanity from her, Bumi? You cast her away like she was nothing? Did you think there wouldn't be consequences?" Tunde's voice was firm. "I will go to the authorities if I must. I will fight for my child. You will not raise him under your lies." Bumi sobbed. "Please, please, don't take him away." But the truth could not be undone. The battle for custody began. Tunde, with Iya Ireti's support, sought legal help. Adigun, now resentful towards Bumi, refused to stand by her. He blamed her for the deception, for the pain, and for ruining their home. You can fight for him all you want, he spat at Bumi, but I will never look at you the same again. Bumi's once perfect world was collapsing. She had won the battle years ago, but now she was losing everything. Meanwhile, Ireti poured all her effort into helping Ireti. She sought out traditional healers, doctors, and spiritual leaders, desperate to undo the spell that had been placed upon her daughter. Weeks passed, and slowly, Ireti began to show signs of recognition. One evening, as the sun was setting, Ireti sat outside, staring blankly at the street. Iya Ireti approached her gently. "My child, do you remember me?" Ireti's eyes flickered with something, a trace of memory, a flicker of recognition. "Mama?" Tears spilled down Iya Ireti's face. "Yes, my daughter, it's me." The road to full recovery was still long, but hope had returned. The court ordered a DNA, and when the results came, it ruled in Tunde's favor. He was granted full custody of his son, and Bumi was left shattered. Her home was broken, her marriage destroyed, and her reputation in shambles. Adigun left her unable to forgive her betrayal. Please subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, like, and comment. Thank you. Iya Ireti, despite everything, found it in her heart to forgive her. "You did a terrible thing, Bumi, but I'll pray for you, just as I prayed for my daughter. You must live with what you've done." Bumi wept, but said nothing. She had lost. As for Ireti, her healing continued. With time, she regained fragments of her past, and though the scars of her suffering would never fully fade, she found comfort in the arms of her mother and the presence of Tunde, who vowed never to leave her side again. A single mother's battle was long and hard, but in the end, love, truth, and resilience won over deceit.